Hi everyone, so we are here today and we'll be sharing our peer domestic violence reflective case analysis, and this activity gave us a realistic look into how officers respond to intimate partner violence and how empathy and trauma-informed practices can impact a victim's willingness to open up. So the video we saw, we're going to walk through the scenario and to give it an idea to you, and that we experienced like how empathy was demonstrated, and finish the recommendations for future police responses. So I'll walk through the scenario. So to start us off, I'm going to give a brief overview about the scenario. So in this the VR scenario, two officers are dispatched at night and to a domestic disturbance call involving a married couple. And when the officers arrive, the husband, named Ronnie, answers the door, and he immediately downplays the situation, saying everything is fine and we are just having fun, even though he verbally claims that there's no issue and his behavior seems something different. And he tries to manage the narrative by asking his wife to come outside to confirm his story, so the police don't come inside the house. But the wife, when she came outside, she agrees that everything is fine, but her non-verbal cues tell everything a different story. Like, she appears anxious and tense and nervous as well. So her body language suggests fear and discomfort. Based on that observations, the officers request permission to enter the home for further assessment, which is standard when safety is a concern for her. And once inside, the officers follow proper domestic violence protocol by separating both individuals, and the male officers stay with the wife to check on her well-being privately, and with the female officers question the husband in another area of the home. And the husband explains that he came back home earlier, began drinking, and says his wife is not okay emotionally. He shares unrelated stories, like he was saying that she cries and everything. It was totally different, and this behavior seems that himself a caretaker and portrays her as unstable, that her wife is unstable, and this behavior seems manipulative and avoids accountability. So the wife initially hesitates to speak, like when the female officers go through the wife, and she was not telling anything, and she was saying, I don't want to talk to you, and which is common in DV cases due to fear and loyalty to the abuser. After some supportive communication, she opens up. She explains that the conflict started when she returned a neighbor's dog. Her husband became angry, accused her that you slept with the neighbor and you are not loyal to me, all of kind that things that he said to her, and yelled at her and emotionally abused her. And she admits she tried to calm him down, but he continues escalating. By the end of the interaction, by like the story after she says, and the officers offer support to her, that we can help you, and she offers the support to her and let her know like resources are available and discuss next steps. So this was the old story about the scenario, and after that she talked to his male officers about the scenario. So this was all about the scenario.
So one of the key things of the officer did well as was maintain a calm and a non-judgmental tone. They approached both individuals in a way that avoided escalating tensions. This is important because victims often shut down if they sense conflict or pressure from officers. Another empathetic approach was prioritizing safety before questioning. Officers did not immediately force conversation. Instead, they assessed whether anyone was in the danger, which shows emotional awareness. Separating the husband and wife was critical, empathetic, and safety-focused decision. It recognizes the power and allows the victim to speak without intimidation. This step often makes a huge difference for victims who fear their abuser reactions. The officer also demonstrated patience when the wife hesitated. They didn't pressure her to talk. By giving her time and space, they helped her feel more comfortable and opening up at her own place. By these approaches were effective areas to improve. These empathetic actions help the wife feels more supported and safe. You could see that after a few moments of silence, she started to share truth of what happened. However, like there were moments where the officer could have taken empathy even more further. They rarely used validating language like it makes sense that you scared or you didn't deserve to be spoken to that way. Validation and can help victim feel lived, emotionally understood. Another improvement would be using more open-ended questions to empower the victim. For example, can you tell me what happened tonight, instead of shorter yes, no.
So now to connect the policing to best practice, empathy aligns directly with trauma informed policing. Will explain that means and how it's applied in our scenarios. So trauma informed policing recognize that trauma affects the brain, mental health, emotion, behavior. Victims may be seen confused, hesitate, or even defensive, not because they are lying, just because trauma impacts how they communicate. A trauma-informed officer focuses on making the victims feel emotionally and physically safe, exposed, and empowered. So the main 6R modules used in these scenarios are like realize, recognize, respond, resist, re-traumatization, respect, and resilience. So realize connects that understand the trauma affect behavior, memory, and communication. Recognize connects notice sign trauma such as like the person is in fear, shaking, or hesitation, avoiding eye contact. And respond connects like use supportive patience and empathic communication. And resist re-traumatization, avoid action that goes more like harm, pressure, blame, or aggressive tone. Respect, treat the victim with dignity, cultural sensitivity, and non-judgment. Resilience, connect with the help the victim feel support and capable of moving forward. In our scenario, officer demonstrated some trauma-informed practices such as creating safety, separating the couple, and allowing a slow pace. However, they could improve by offering choices. Example, would you like to speak in different room, and validating her feelings more clearly. So transition to reflection is that this scenario didn't just teach us procedures, it also made us relax personally. We would now like to share how the experience impacted each of us, and now she is
Okay, so for the personal reflections, from my side, I felt a strong sense of empathy for the victim, especially when I saw how scared and uncomfortable she looked. And I genuinely wanted to protect her and make sure she felt supported and not alone in that moment.
Yeah, at first I felt nervous and unsure about what the night words were to say to someone in her situation. It made me realize that they responded to domestic violence isn't simple. It requires patience, sensitivity, and training.
So, like, I was shocked when the officers arrived to his house, and how quickly he tried to narrate the situation and blame her wife, and seeing how manipulative he was helped me understand why many victims hesitate to speak up or defend themselves.
And
So at last we are now going to tell you our recommendations. So first you
okay, so for the recommendation that I have, like I showed empathy, but next time I would use more validating language, like it's okay to feel this way and it's normal, or this to reassure the victim that she is safe. And I want to ask more open-ended questions to give the victim control and space to share at her own pace, that at what time she wanna share about the things.
So the officers were partly trauma informed because they stayed calm, ensured safety, and separated the couple. However, they missed opportunity to emotionally validate the victim and clearly explain next step to build trust.
So officers should also connect victims to community support. This shows care beyond just the call itself. And in Peel regions like Victim Services of Peel and Safe Center of Peel, trauma-informed help for victims. So at last, the conclusion is overall that in this VR scenario helped us to understand empathy and trauma-informed practices can influence the outcome of a domestic violence call. As future officer, our tone, patience and ability to build trust can make a significant impact on a victim's safety and willingness to speak. Thank you for watching and have a good day.
Thank you.